Live from the Preston Highway Studios, it's 24-hour Purple People.
Hey, hello, welcome to 24-hour Purple People. My name is John Harper, and we are absolutely thrilled to have you along for the ride today as we are all set to talk Louisville City FC racing and all sorts of other purple activities this week. And joining me on the program, which I'll get to momentarily, we have a lot to cover, guys. Not really, but somewhat. LouCity looking a bit lousy at Loudoun. Racing will be playing. Will racing be playing the blues or back to that heavy metal press without one key component coming up this Friday? And things are going to get really rowdy at the FAM this Saturday evening. And joining me, the master of dungeons, the spinner of tunes, the builder of vans, and a servant to cats, Mr. Ken Luther. Ken, how you doing?
Hey, what's up? Thanks. New intro. Woohoo!
New intro. I rehearsed it none times, but
you can tell. You did a good job.
Yes, thank you very much. Also joining me, the guy that just had that smart remark that I will remember. He is the author of the Purple Prose and the ultimate warrior of poetry. He's hot on the indies currently. So show some love for Matt Dalton. Matt, how you doing?
I'm good, Johnny. It's feels like summer outside today. Have you been out?
I have been. It was 90 degrees almost when I got in my car after work today. I was like, good Lord, where did this come from?
We're going to have a hot show because we're going to pop these shirts off at the end. So stick around
Well,
to the very end.
Yeah, shirts versus skins. I was always the shirts, but we'll see where the show goes. We never know. We never know where these things are going to go. Well, speaking of not knowing where we're going, I do know where we're going. We're segueing right into some Louisville City highlights. Last Saturday in the Jägermeister Cup, maybe we'll just stick with the bourbon next time. I don't know about you guys, but in our nation's capital against Loudoun, we've played them. This was the 93rd meeting this season between Louisville City and Loudoun. Let's go to some highlights, gentlemen. There we have the Tell the Tate from Fought Mob. What did you say?
The tale of
the what?
I don't know if that's.
I don't even know what you said. Yeah,
it's a good thing. All right, we're already queued up. We already got the.
Let's do it.
We already got the lineup in there.
No Fondes again. So whatever he picked up in warm-ups last week, he's still ailing him. So we've got Troutman on the bench. Let's see who else. Cano, who ended up making an appearance, newbie to the lineup as well.
Yeah, it's a. I know that they have a lineup there on the screen, but I think it was predominantly a 3 in the back, maybe sometimes a 4 in the back, as they've depicted it up there. But our solid back 3. Which may or may not have made some mistakes this game. And pretty much that's what we got. I can't imagine a different lineup at this point based on the number of players that we have.
That's fair.
Yeah, right. I mean, who else we got?
Yeah, it's getting kind of slim.
Well,
when is Lancaster supposed to start playing? Didn't we sign him or whatever?
He was in training this week. He did not play. I guess he wasn't ready. But I think he'll be available next week. So
I'm not ready.
Fingers crossed.
That's going to be interesting. He hasn't been playing for Lexington, so we'll see how this works out. But all right.
There's Patrick Blanton there in the background.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that.
Can't miss him. Can't miss him. Who else these guys? I hope it shows their coach because he's dressed like a real dweeb, Loudoun's coach.
Now, do you think that the camera production crew forgot to clean the lens, or is this the wildfires from Canada smoke?
This is
wildfires.
Okay, John, pause it real quick.
Yeah, okay.
Who on the score bug in the top left corner? How do they decide who gets to be Lou? Because both teams. LOU is the start of the name, right? Why do we get to be Lou and not Loudoun?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Are
Right?
they LDN for all their games or just ours?
I'm not really sure. Is that the airport code for Leesburg, Virginia? I really don't know.
I think it might be actually. Um,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, that's a good question. Sometimes I wonder these things. They have to flip a coin, maybe, perhaps.
I feel like we have to trade it back and forth. And spoiler alert, we lost it, so we're gonna have to be Elville next time.
We were Elville in this evening, that's for sure.
Yeah, we sure were.
How'd you feel about our high press, even this early in the game?
I I think we lacked a lot of oomph, if that makes sense.
I don't think it was a very high press. I think it was kind of a middle press. And then they
It is
just
our
cut
first
right
goal.
through
So
us. Did you see that?
yeah,
They just cut right through us.
and we're about 13 minutes in, and neither team had really kind of planted their flag in the game yet. I'm not sure if we had many chances before this, but I mean, they just sort of slipped in, right? This just kind of happened. It was bang bang.
Abukora
Yeah,
running right past us.
yeah. Well, it looks like Ordonez went for the header there and fell, trying to win it, and there's nobody back to cover. Our spacing, our formations, sort of our grouping, especially on the defensive end, was not good all night. You'll see it time and time again. Once Loudoun players get through, there's nobody back to cover.
Mm-mm.
No, it was very, very sad, actually. You know, it just felt like there wasn't a lot of high press. And then these big chances that we were getting, good shots, good positioning in front of the goal, just wasn't landing for us.
Yeah, a lot of our chances looked like this, kind of scrums in the front of just flailing legs, trying to get that ball past in the blue over there. And it's not happening.
And I'm gonna say their keeper did a pretty good job too.
Yes,
He was
yes,
a little
did.
lucky that he was
Loudoun, to their credit, the whole team played really well. So
you think this is just a product of playing them over and over again, so they certainly knew what to expect from us?
it's certainly part of it. Definitely got something to do with it. Here's Manny winning a corner. John, I'm going to have you pause it here in just a second. So get ready.
I'm ready.
All right, who are we talking to? What do we need this conversation in the highlight? All right, pause it right here. So at the top, you're going to see a guy in white. Okay, you're going to see he's at the sort of the top of the key in basketball terms. He's at the top of the 18-yard box, standing by himself. That's Adrian Perez. That's AP. Okay, so I want you guys. He's about to put his hands on his hips. Okay, I want you guys to count how many players he has to get past in order to get up to goal. So go ahead and play it, John.
All right.
Okay. So just go ahead and count how many players he has to get by. 0. He gets by 0 players. There's nobody even looking in his direction. What a great.
They screwed up that. Yes.
He just strolls up to the 6-yard box and just taps it in. I mean, that's how they practice it, right? That's how you draw it up.
I think the play-by-play guy said
Look at that.
perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, it really was perfect.
See the way that ball just dropped right to his foot? That's something they definitely been working on.
Yeah.
Who took that corner? Develop? Taylor?
I believe so.
Yeah.
There's a wide shot from Jansen.
Fairly speculative. I felt like Jansen was taking some speculative shots all day. He wasn't really getting anything out in the wide open. He's got range.
Yeah, for sure.
But he'll go left or right, especially if they're players that are in front of him.
What they haven't shown you in these highlights here, right around this time, Aiden McFadden handed out a textbook Spinebuster, but luckily we do have a clip of that later to show you. Best part of the highlight, and they left it out.
Again, Abukura cutting through us relatively in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Butter.
All game long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there was also several occasions, seemed like maybe more so in the second half, just not very good communication at times between the boys. I don't know. I just saw that it looked like, besides that go, the communication wasn't there at times in this match, and that definitely could make a hamper to it. Look at this.
And some turnovers in horribly dangerous places. Look how far Loss is out there. I don't think he had a choice.
If you have the ball in LouCity's box, Loss is coming for you. All right, he's coming at you. This shit used to scare me, but I kind of like it now, to be honest. Why not?
He was already out there in no man's land, so I mean, I'm not sure how much he had a choice on that one.
Yeah, I wish he was screaming the whole time when he did this stuff. Like, how startling would that be?
All right,
and then this moment.
Pause it.
All right.
Now, granted, it got called back. So, if this goal had stood, whose fault was it?
I mean, keeper's off his line.
Do you think I think he's being told to play off his line.
Yeah, I mean that's
plays
his game,
very far forward, and it's risky, but it also provides a decent outlet for our center backs to pass back to in the game.
Yeah.
The problem is that because you're playing so far forward, you can get caught out, and if you have a player like Velo, you're taking that risk. But I think the Coach Cruz or whoever is telling him to play that far forward because he's fairly decent with his feet.
When I saw that ball live, when I saw that pass back from Tosh, the ball just kind of died. And initially I thought, like, seeing it live, I thought maybe it was the field because it seemed like they were having trouble we were having trouble playing on that field all game.
Yeah, we always do.
But you can, on the replay, you can see the handball pretty clearly. And I want to shout out the refs because Jägermeister didn't pay for VAR. So if they don't catch that, I mean, that's a goal.
That is. We were kind of lucky they caught it.
Yeah. And some of that miscommunication I was talking about, you can see Chan Tosh there, and then a highlight was just trying to, when he was shuffling the ball there, was communicating with somebody and not paying attention to ball handling. I mean, the ball handling was off in that situation as well.
Yeah. I think if it's going to boil down to fault, it was probably Sean Tosh's fault for losing the ball in that position.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's a dangerous place to pass that header back, too. I mean, he really didn't have a choice. The ball was airborne already, so he's got to do something.
Yep.
I didn't feel great going into halftime. I know we were all tied up, but that second goal that didn't end up being a goal, I mean, that really
I felt okay going into halftime. I felt like we were going to make some decent subs, and I kind of forgot that our bench is kind of thin. But I thought they got an early goal. We came back at them, and now let's take it to them. But that is certainly not quite what happened.
That is not what happened. A lot of good ref shots in this highlight reel for some reason. We're at 58 here. I think we're on Loudoun's second goal.
Yep, it's coming up
pretty soon. Which is we're gonna see here in a few minutes. Is not again somebody. I don't know if somebody messed up. I really don't know. I don't know enough about soccer to know when anybody messes up, but it certainly seemed like a guy should have been covering that guy. I believe it's Zach Ryan.
Well, let's see it again. I'm not sure either. I just watched it, but I'll watch it again. It's the big shadow is kind of hard to see shit on there, but
here we go. Look, he slips right between our guys.
He split that defense really, really well. We could have been tighter to him, possibly. But I really got to give credit to whoever on their team made that pass.
Yeah.
Right there. And that angled run coming across the face of Dia and slotting right, what was it, behind Adams there. That was maybe less of a defensive lapse and more of offensive brilliance right there. But again, it just feels like they were able to run shit right up the middle all game long. There's something wrong with our midfielders, Taylor and Lambert. I'm not pinning all the blame on them, but something wasn't clicking this game for them.
Here we are, 94th minute, and they're still making make saves out there.
That was one hell of a save right there. I thought that was a goal. I definitely thought that was a goal. So all credit to Loss. I don't put the blame on him for that goal that got called back or anything else. I thought he had a very good game. The FotBob stats don't bear that out, but that's probably because he lost the game.
I don't think. I was just going to say I don't think other teams should be allowed to have players named McCabe, but
yeah, that was a little confusing, especially when they were both on the field. And that hitting the post right at the end, man. Oh, another.
Jansen's had a couple of those.
Another 2 inches.
It's a slew of chances we get here at the end. A flurry of chances. It's a brouhaha.
I actually think we've seen Jones more as a striker than we've seen him as a defenseman so far this season. It's not the first time we've thrown him into the game.
He seems like put
him up front.
Seems like a good aerial threat.
He's also pretty good with his feet, considering his size. Yep, 3 big chances right at the end. And it was either to the keeper, too close to the keeper, hitting the post. So that certainly could have gone to a tie, and then who knows what would have happened. We go straight to penalties, right? They're not going to play an extra 30 minutes.
Correct.
Yep.
Straight to him, Matt.
Straight to him.
Boo.
Yeah, look at this dork. What are you wearing, man? So we got beat, y'all. We got beat straight up.
We did get beat. They were the better team.
We got beat.
They were certainly the better team.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it.
It was a drubbing. The back line had a bad game. I think we've seen some really high level play from them all year, and this just wasn't up to their standard, I think. Too many mistakes, too many lapses in coverage and passing, and I mean, even the best defense in the league has an off night, you know. But the theme for me of this whole thing was, at least it wasn't league play. We're still undefeated in league play, so we can keep
still
I'll
undefeated.
take that excuse all day. Yeah, at least it wasn't league play. John, do you want to?
Do you think this is causing psychological angst amongst the team, being undefeated in league play, and it's causing us to be risk averse?
That's a really good question. I'm not sure. I wouldn't think so. I mean, you're going to lose a game, at least a couple throughout the year, right? You have to be prepared for that. And they have lost, just not in league play. So I don't know. I can't, unless that's a stated goal that's on the, that's on the whiteboard in the locker room. We want to go undefeated throughout the league play. I don't really know if I don't know if it's something they really worry about, but you could be right. That's a really interesting question.
I mean, they haven't lost, but they've drawn 4 times, and that's only a point per draw. And that's why we're not in first, is because we've got so many draws. Yeah, we haven't lost, but we've got a lot of draws. We're playing for the draw as opposed to playing for the win, and not throwing enough bodies forward, taking enough risk.
What do you make of this schedule as of late? We've been a little bit all over. We're on the East Coast last Saturday, weekend before on the West Coast. I'm sure that has a little something to do with it. Our depth right now is not exactly wonderful, but we did sign an old friend, number 17, coming back to the Purple on loan from Lexington SC, gentlemen. Cameron Lancaster is back. How excited are you guys about Cameron Lancaster before we watch that Spinebuster?
I was shocked a little bit. John, you hit us up in the group chat. I was a little shocked. I hope that he can find his place in the lineup. I feel like this might be a depth signing, but I really hope I'm wrong about that. I hope he gets some good minutes, and I hope he's still got the touch. Cam's just naturally knows how to score. So
Ken, you don't look as convinced.
He's got, I think I'm along the same lines as Matt. He's got the touch and he's got the finishing. The last year or two he played for us, he didn't see a lot of minutes. Does he still have the, I don't want to say legs, but I'm going to say legs to do the high press like we
I
do?
think that's fair.
When you looked at people like Harris and Goodrum, the amount of pressing that they did, is Cameron Lancaster up to that task, or is he going to be standing around waiting for the ball to come to him at the top, which is not going to work. So we'll see.
I'm not really sure. Is I don't know if the press is really Cam's game. I don't know.
It was.
I can't recall.
What is he? 33, 34 now?
32.
32. I was close. Mm-hmm. It's not that old.
Which is athlete old, but
soccer player old.
You're younger than all of us.
He's got a slew of horrendous injuries too. That's got to take a little bit out of your ability to perform.
Yeah. I mean, coming up through the English academy system, I mean, your body gets run through it, right? I mean,
he had a bad knee injury year one, 2015, bad knee injury. So he was on our team. He just didn't see a minute on the field, or maybe he saw a little bit, but I can't remember. And then he had a bad groin injury. And he may be fighting injuries now, which is why he's not getting minutes for Lexington. Not sure. We don't know about these things. If he's not getting minutes for Lexington, what makes you say he's going to be a stellar performer for us? Not to take anything away. He has been a stellar performer for us, and maybe he's just not working in their system. I don't know.
Well, he's currently,
we're going to find out,
tied with the all-time USL scoring record, if I'm not mistaken. So he's right there at it. So hopefully we'll get to see that with him in purple, and it will be exciting to see him come back to Lynn Family Stadium on our squad, and maybe we'll see him Saturday, which we'll talk about here in a moment. So what is this video here, Matt? Let me see if I can cue it up without. I have this labeled as Matt's special highlights.
So this is Aiden McFadden. I really like how mad Aiden McFadden gets a lot of the time. I mean, he's just got a temper.
Yes.
Look at this.
Yeah.
See multiple replays because I just looped it
and they missed it.
He's stomping mad. Look at this.
He only got a yellow for that too. Woo.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's an orange card right there. I would say that. It's a lucky man to not see the locker room right there.
I mean, who's that number 10? I mean, he kind of came off his feet pretty easy there, but. He
went up for him.
He sandbagged him a little bit.
Yeah, he went up for him, no doubt.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm glad you brought that to the forefront. Well, I am, minus the USL people watching this program, which is no USL people watching this. No.
Well, yeah, we were talking about that on the Discord channel right after it happened.
Is that a segue?
It
sounded like a segue.
A segue. So we have this this Discord channel that's just the three of us, which is cool. I mean, but we have 900 channels based on what league and what game. We even had Champions League. We're talking about the PSG game when that was going on. So I guess the question I have for the viewers out there is, are you all viewers interested in joining our Discord Purple Person Discord channel and participating in live conversations as games occur, which is it's kind of fun.
It's fun.
I'll leave that out to viewerland if people want to do that, and we can figure out how we want to do that.
I agree. It is kind of fun because it's kind of like just having a place to chat together as we're watching those games, and there's a lot of fun on there. You guys are posting fun things. I'm new to the Discord, and I'm enjoying it so far. I was a little intimidated, I don't know technology very well and these social media type things, but it basically is like the new version of a telephone. You see, it's like you can talk and you can just do whatever on. Wow, that thing is really neat. Matt,
new version of it.
Are we talking about Did you just get a phone for the first time? What?
Rotary dial, but I can see you
Okay.
guys. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
It really is pretty neat. Yeah, we
Wow,
might.
What I like about Discord is it's a closed system, so
It's like the
everybody
MLS of social media.
It's
That's
exactly
right.
everybody that's going to be on the channel is a known person. You don't have
They're all
anybody coming in
franchise.
there being a dork hole. So that's useful.
Unlike MLS, though, we do not do profit sharing, so don't look for any glad handing. But
Well, we do, because the profit sharing of 0 is 0.
That's true. That's a good point. We will share all these profits with all of you at home and on the Discord.
An equal share of 0.
Well, speaking of 0,
You make the show work. Thanks, guys.
Yes. Your money at work. Speaking of 0, there were 0 NWSL matches last weekend. The NWSL, a lot of players, we had some going from racing, all on international duties all over the place. USA beating China 3-0.
And Sears got some time.
She did. Subbed in the second half, so that was good to see. However, good news, fam. Racing is back this Friday evening against the Utah Royals. The Royals are not good, according to my sources, and we might have just a good game here on our hands with the Utah Royals. However, we will be down a very, very big part of our heavy metal press. Kayla Fisher getting a 3-game suspension for that red card. So, Ken, racing, how are you feeling about Friday evening?
I still feel pretty good. I think we have bench players that are good enough to come in for Kayla Fisher. I would expect to see Weber probably playing up top. Not nearly as tall, but certainly has the type of skills to be able to play that pressing game. Kayla's going to be a big loss for 3 games.
Very big.
But I think that we still have talented players on the bench that haven't seen a lot of time yet this season that can come in and make a difference. I'd also like to see Uchenna come back a little bit more as well on a wing. So that will give an opportunity to see probably Weber in the middle. I'm trying to think of who else would play there, and I think that's the person it's going to be. Thoughts, Matt?
I mean, there's a lot of interesting choices for Bev to make during this next stretch. I am a little nervous, but I'm also excited at the possibilities, which is not something that maybe I felt in years prior. But we're on a good run right now, and systemically, we're doing really well. So hopefully they can just slot somebody in. I think Weber will probably get the start. She usually comes in for Kayla, usually in the second half sometime. So I would assume she would get the start here. It's nervous, but it's exciting. That's what anxiety is, right? Like you're nervous, but you're excited.
Yep. That's exactly right. Just how much do you think Kayla not being there is going to? I know we just kind of talked about a little bit of a change up in the lineup, obviously, but do you think that we have some depth that we can just slot somebody in there, or a little tougher than that?
Our national team players will be back by then, right? We think.
Correct.
Yep.
So that's Sonis and Emma Sears.
Yes, our starters.
Yeah. So you might see some rotation up top too, if it's not going to be Weber. And Ari Borges, she's also coming back, correct?
Yeah.
I know that some of the international teams were going to have more extended play cycles, so not all of the players are going to come back, but I completely lost track of who's who. So maybe we'll get some people into the Discord and they can tell us. But
do our jobs for us.
Exactly.
I think if you're going to make changes and you're going to switch things up and you're going to rotate your squad, this is the team to do it against, right? Utah is a bad team. This is not a good team. They've got one calendar win. They've got one win in the calendar year. And I don't know if you guys have checked your watches, but we're in the 6th month now. We're halfway through. They got one win. They got a really leaky back line. Their keeper faces more shots than anybody else in the league. So this is a really big opportunity for somebody stepping up, taking minutes to maybe show themselves, right?
Should probably see a
They like to hold
doctor.
the ball.
Do you have a leaky
We like to
back
match
line?
up.
Both
Situation.
both Sanas and Sears are kind of natural wingers, so I would be surprised if they're slotted into that number 9 role. But I could see
That would be surprising.
I could see Uchenna Kanu doing that. Whether or not she can do the kind of heavy metal press that Kayla Fisher did, I think I'm more comfortable with Weber doing that. But we'll see. We'll see.
I'm more interested. I mean, goals from a number 9 are fantastic, right? That's your number 1 job. But I'm more interested to see the pace, setting the example for the rest of the team out there. Like, I want to see the press more than I want to see goals, right? I want to see you flourish within this pressing system. If the goals don't come maybe the first game, that's okay, because we've been getting them from other. I mean, Kayla's only scored what 2-3 times this year.
Yeah, but what she gives on the field is much more important than the goals she's scoring. So I think you're spot on.
Exactly.
We'll know right away. We'll know. 10, 15 minutes in the game, we'll know if this press is working or not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the last time these two teams met, Ken, not sure if you remember, it was a 5-1 victory at Lynn Family Stadium. You sure you don't remember that one? It was on April the 20th last year. So it was a shellacking by Racing last season. Emma Sears scoring in stoppage time in that match. You might remember that. And DeMello had a brace.
I remember party games. They all kind of blur together. I don't. That one's not. It's not making anything happen in the head. But
I understand. Well,
anything.
Gentlemen, if you think you can escape Lynn Family Stadium on Friday and go home, no, you can't. You're going to turn right back around and come back. It's a doubleheader weekend. Louisville City at home, hosting the Tampa Bay Rowdies, which the Rowdies are a team that we obviously have a big history with, but this isn't exactly the same Rowdies team that we have seen in the past. Matt, not the same team from the Rowdies, and definitely a team that, yes, they just got a victory in the Jägermeister Cup, but should we fear this Rowdies team this year?
Y'all, this is a very bad team. I mean, in like every statistical category, they're not great. I mean, 22nd out of 24 in goals per match and goals conceded per match. Open up the team rankings on the stats page and FOTMob. You got to click through like multiple pages just to get to them. What is going on in Tampa? What is happening? This is not the team that we're used to. They're dead last in the East. I don't know. I don't know who they fired their coach already this year, right?
Yeah, they did. And they have talent on their team. I hope this isn't a trap game. They could. I mean, they got people like Forrest Lasso, right? Remember Forrest Lasso? This guy's haunted us for the last 5 years in the league, except when he went and did something else. But he came back right to Tampa. So I think that sure we should win. Statistically, we should win. Yeah. We have problems of our own right now. I do think it's a very good game for Cam Lancaster to come back and take the lead in the scoring for all-time score. I think this is a good game to welcome him back. Hopefully he's training well and ready to go. I would like to see a finisher up top flanked by our natural wingers, Wilson and AP and Serrano. I mean, we've got at least 3 of them, and they're all more comfortable out on the wings. So I think this is an opportunity for us to bring in this new loanee.
And we're going to get Lancaster back. We should have Lancaster this weekend. We should get a good run back who was fit last game but was out due to a personal reason. He had an excused day off.
Okay. I thought he had a knock.
See Gleedle. He had a knock that they arrested him for initially, but more as a precaution. He went back into training, so he is fit. And then he had a personal day. He took some PTO last Saturday.
Then I would expect him to start. over Lancaster.
Yeah. It's funny because like we're coming off a loss and Tampa's coming off a win, and that has not happened like any other time in the year. Like these are things that do not happen often. Tampa winning and us losing. You couldn't have guessed it based on our forms, so it's kind of funny. It's fun. The soccer gods, they have a sense of humor.
I guess so. Oh boy.
The new coach of the Rowdies, Steve Coleman, 2 draws and 4 losses so far in the 2025 campaign for him. And Ken, I think you said something about being a trap game. What a feather in the cap it would be for Mr. Coleman to even pick up a draw. Any chance of, I mean, how are we feeling on the trapometer right now?
I don't feel like we're going to get trapped. They're not playing well, and they're certainly not playing. He's 6 games under his belt.
Yep.
So far, and he's still not doing very well.
Nope.
I think this is a really tough, rough environment for them to come into. So,
and I would like to also correct myself that Cameron is not. I thought he was tied for. He was in like 3rd, tied to be in 2nd, but he's in 3rd, and he's in a distant 3rd. So I don't know.
Distant 3rd. How many goals is he behind?
100. So 191. Nico Brett. Cameron is at 165.
Oh, he's not going to get that. Okay.
No.
Yeah, that's going to be rough.
But 3rd is respectable in the grand scheme of things. Yeah,
Does Tampa still have Gonzatti? Is he still in the?
No, Gonzatti went to Detroit, I think. Pretty sure they've got Arteaga, who's a.
Oh yeah, Arteaga, Ollie Bassett is pretty good.
And Pacquias. I mean, both of them are not playing really well, but they are both very good players. I mean, like I said, when you look at these players and you've seen them around the league for a while, you know they're incredibly talented. It's just not clicking. So if you're going to say trap game, sure, it's all of a sudden starts to click, but I don't see any indication that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well said. Yeah.
Tampa Bay has not had a clean sheet. 16 matches and counting. So is that the entire season?
That's more than
that goes back. That goes back to last season. Holy cow! Okay, yeah. So I want to just say one thing about this match coming up Saturday. We talked about this multiple times already, so I'm not going to drag it on. But being a fan base that is, we've seen a lot of winning and we've seen a lot of goals. We even talked about in the Jägermeister Cup. In the Jägermeister Cup, I believe there's just to kind of circle back to this. There's 2 wild card type positions that can break through a group, but they got to be the top, the goal leader, which I believe we're tied for the most goals in our group, if I'm not mistaken. I have been mistaken before, even tonight, but I believe we are tied for the most goals in our group. That being said, Ken, you said this is not we're not going to necessarily just score a ton of goals. It feels like right now. I feel like this needs to be a game against Tampa Bay. This is the team to do it. And, yeah, we might see – it'll be interesting to see what the lineup is with all the moving and shaking going on. But this would be a great game to come out and play some old-school Louisville City, big-time goals, big-time punches. This is a team that we always want to beat, especially at Lynn Family Stadium, as we remember certain things that have happened to us by this team. So we really need to come out and just – put the naysayers to bed. We've all had a few doubts, and sometimes Damian Loss is like the best player on the pitch and the worst player on the pitch in the same game. It's just he can, there's a lot of dynamic things. We just need to come out here and just put on a show Saturday evening.
I would like to see that as well. I don't actually think that will happen. There's nothing that is telling me that we're going to come and run up the score against any team yet this year. I haven't seen that this year yet, and I didn't see it a whole lot last year either. We scored a lot. We won a lot of games last year, but we didn't have any real run-ups like we used to. So yeah, let's get back to some of those old school games where we're putting 5 or 6 in the net.
Man,
I really look forward to next week, John, you having the opportunity to splice in all of the goals we score on Saturday next to Ken as he says, "Well, I don't think we're going to run it up." Hopefully that happens.
I hope I'm wrong.
If we play our game, we should win this game. There's nothing we should win this game.
I
If we play our
expect to
game up
win,
to
but
the
I
standards
want
that we have set.
a Rusev crush. I want, rah.
You want to step on their necks a little bit, huh?
Yeah. And
They've
on top
already-
of that, it's Pride Night for both squads, so we got to have some fun. Both squads. And Matt, I'd like to also bring up Ken, you as well. Lavender Legion has a Pride Raiser going at the moment.
Yes.
So be sure to google.com that one.
Yes, you can pledge Pride Raiser. They do it every June. Pride Raiser is a great organization. I'm not sure who the Lavender Legion is working with. I can check that really quick.
Also going to
Super
be some
professional on air.
cool
Email.
giveaways as well, both evenings. So be sure to come out to the fam and support these teams. It's going to be a beautiful night. We did have rain in the forecast, but now I believe it's going to be a beautiful night.
Oh.
Yeah, it was looking like a great week all week, and then let's see what my weather app says.
Well, this
It
is exciting.
says
Everybody's looking at their apps.
rain all weekend. Yeah, all right. So we'll see how this works out for us.
Well, yeah.
Real quick, sorry. The Lavender Legion for Pride Raiser this month is working with Louisville Youth Group, a local organization that empowers LGBTQIA plus youth to grow into healthy and resilient leaders through community connection, life skills, education, and social advocacy. It seems like a worthy cause. What you're doing is you are pledging, I believe it's for every goal and for every clean sheet. You pledge a certain amount of money per for every game that Racing plays in June. I believe they play 3 in June. So yeah, pledge. I pledged. Be like me. Be cool like me.
Be cool
Let's get
Matt.
let's get some money, some worthwhile organizations. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Pride Night is always a lot of fun for both teams, and certainly looking forward to it. It's going to be a busy month of June. Louisville City, I know, has several matches. We have Rowdies, we have Rhode Island, Legion, North Carolina, and then 2 away games sprinkled in there as well. So it's going to be a busy month of June after what seems to have been a very long time period without having a match.
Yeah, man.
So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm off for both of these games, so that's very exciting.
That Rhode Island game is next Wednesday, which is a little awkward for some people, but
It is.
I plan to be there.
Yeah.
And that North Carolina game is our next game in the Jägermeister Cup. So we need not only a victory there, but it would really help if we scored 10 or 15 goals. That'd be
North
pretty
Carolina's not a bad team, so I think we got kind of the short end of the stick on the old Jägermeister draw because we don't play the League One team, Charlotte.
We don't play Richmond. We didn't play Richmond.
We played Richmond.
Did we play Richmond?
Yep.
That was the first game.
Oh, we played the Kickers.
It was the first game. Okay. It was away at their little stadium in Richmond. So not a lot of people registered that. So I don't know how all that works. I think they're still trying to figure it out, but we definitely need a win.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out, dang it.
Out.
Yeah. Well, we hope
so
we hope that you figure out how to hit the like button. Look at my little. I bought these on
John
clearance.
Sculpted that. He sculpted that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I meant. I sculpted it.
Yeah.
We appreciate
Really
each and
good
every
work.
one of you watching 24-Hour Purple People today. Don't forget we have a audio version. It is on Spotify. You can check us out on there as well. Let us know in the comments what you think about joining the old Discord. I can fumble around and there'll be words capitalized that shouldn't be and things like that. You might even catch Ken or Matt saying something that sounds smart but probably isn't. But nevertheless, let us know in the comments what you think about our Discord and if you'd like to join up. Don't forget the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And gentlemen, any closing thoughts today? Ken, I'll start with you.
Nope. I'm looking forward to getting out and seeing everybody again this weekend. 2 games, 2 tailgates.
Yeah, come say hello. We're pretty friendly people, and we would love to talk to you guys
Yeah.
if we haven't met you. We've met some cool people this year so far. Matt, any closing thoughts?
I'm with Ken, man. I missed my familia. It's been a while, it seems like. You get one last question. What is your guys' favorite theme from the Lord of the Rings trilogy? Is it Khazad-dûm? Is it the da 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 da? That's my
Ooh, that's a good one.
favorite. Do, 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 do.
No, man. When they're in the mines of Moria, getting chased by the Balrog,
It's good stuff.
that's some good stuff right there.
I like the Shire theme. Just Howard Shore did a great job with that whole score. All right, that's it. That's all I got.
From way downtown. How about those Knicks as well, Matt? I don't know.
Nixon 8, baby.
Yeah,
Nixon 8.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have this evening. We appreciate you joining us this evening, and we will see you next time. We are 24-hour Purple People for Ken Luther, Matt Dalton. I'm John Harper. Good night, everybody, and bye-bye, Purple family.
Bye, I love you.